So you can find us on SoundCloud now. We have one episode up, and then we'll try to stick with episodes each week. Today we got a couple different topics for you, but first I want to give a shout out to my man Michael Barnes for the shirt I bought from him. Legendary art. He does black superheroes, and it makes me look real buff. Look at that. Look at that.
Wait, I don't have good lighting.
This doesn't come across good on audio, so stop trying to flex.
You were just
So-
flexing.
Anyway, so we're going to do this more as a traditional podcast versus the video like we used to do. I think it'll be better for people that are actually trying to listen while they drive. So, how was your week?
What's good?
Anything new happen?
No, other than just life, flooded basement and life. Staying fit while living life is hard to do.
She is having a silent beef with this lady at the gym
You're not supposed to divulge that information.
because she smiles at the lady and the lady never smiles at her.
She's not giving me good energy.
So
It's
she
been like
says-
3 years.
And I told her that's not what Jesus would do. So
Listen, I was giving her the energy she was
the
giving
energy
me.
should be always
I
positive.
tried for 3 years.
You kill them with
I
kindness.
tried to talk to her. She wouldn't talk to me. I'm trying.
I don't have a problem with her. So I'm not jumping in any fight.
And I'm not fighting. You gotta. It's not a fight. She just isn't friendly to me.
And you know, I did buy her 2 stools, step stools, to help her do some of her exercises. I was at Home Depot, and I saw 2 of them. They're 8 inches, so it
Wait,
will.
for those that don't know, I'm 5 foot tall. Maybe 5'1" on a good day.
And so the a lot of the machines she doesn't fit in, and there's no machines there that are built for people that are challenged in that regard. So I bought her some stools so that she can do like the things like that she normally can't.
Well,
fit
like
in.
a deadlift on the Smith bar when it has a stop. What is that stopper at the bottom?
Yeah.
Anyway, so it's like probably this far off. That's like half my leg stops right there, so I'm not able to get a full deadlift in. So instead of stacking the plates up on the step stools, hopefully that'll help with that. We'll see.
So enough of that. So let's get into the some of the topics today. None of these topics are really designed to offend people, but there's a lot of quackery that goes along in the fitness industry, and I was really surprised. So, I mean, Lena's been in a lot longer than I have, from the actual formal industry side of it, where you're trying to maybe make money off it, open a studio or gym, and so she's seen a lot. I remember when she was going through her, studio, just all the cattiness,
Super catty.
and especially in that Zumba industry. It was just crazy to me.
It's not catty with their clients. It's catty with instructors.
Yeah.
Between instructors and who's better and who can bring up their numbers more and who can, who dances better or who instructs classes better. So it was always very competitive, and I'm a super competitive person, but I don't like drama between women especially. And so it was really hard for me to make even friends, I guess is the word. And so I connected a lot with my clients, but the friends through the instructor industry was just not happening too well.
And I'm serious, man. I was like, Lena watches those Real Housewife shows, and I for real thought, oh, that was always a joke or a put on until I saw what was going on in that industry, and I was like, you've got to be kidding me.
I mean, I have so many stories.
Yeah.
Bad.
But Lena always took the high road, so she's better than me in that regard because I would have lit somebody up. So let's get into the topics today. So again, these are not designed to offend, but if you get offended and we're not trying to offend you, I'm not going to be liable for that. And Lena may feel bad for it, but trust me, I won't.
Well, it's a podcast, and we're going to give you our opinions, and our opinions
Yeah.
are not going to be shared with everybody. So just remember that also.
And it's perfectly okay for you to have a different opinion
Yep.
than us. It just makes you wrong. So, flat tummy tea. So I put as a category flat tummy tea for all of the shenanigan
Quick
gimmicks.
weight loss supplements.
And we're not talking about supplements.
Well, weight loss supplements.
So we're not talking about supplements like
Vitamins,
protein
drinks,
stuff like that. What's your take on flat tummy tea?
My take on it is it may, okay, so I'm just going to be super blunt, and I've told my clients this for years, is it's going to work at first. It's calorie deficit. You're going to probably go through a detox, and you're going to lose weight, probably quickly, and you're going to keep it off for a little bit. But as soon as you bring back in your carbs and bring back in your calories and up those again, most likely you're going to gain it right back. So I have a story I tell all my clients. A close friend of mine did the
HGC?
HGC.
Or HGA? No, human growth hormone. Is
Yeah.
something
So
different.
anyway, she put the drops under her tongue and took the shots.
Oh, that's legit hormones.
So she lost like 70 pounds, and it was like, wow, in like 6 months, pretty dramatically. And then she went into had some kidney issues and had to go to the hospital and get that taken care of. But besides the point, as soon as she got back on a regular diet, because when she was taking those, it suppressed her appetite, and she just wasn't hungry, so she just wasn't eating. So she was consuming like 500 calories a day. You're going to lose weight. You absolutely will lose weight. It's not healthy. The slower you lose it, the better. She looked a little emaciated, and obviously her kidney wasn't functioning correctly, and she got sick. But as soon as she went back on her regular diet, she gained twice as much. Well, not twice. I'd say probably 100 pounds back. Pretty quickly, within a good 6 months, the same amount of time that she lost it. But she had to eat again because her organs were failing.
Yeah. So and that's a actual hormone. So that's a lot different than what I'm saying. Although that's worth having a conversation, because when you start dealing with hormones, you need to make sure that if you're going to do that, your doctor's monitoring you, and that they're checking your blood levels.
Right, she bought it online, and so it wasn't monitored. But what you're saying is like the products.
I'm talking about, so like, see, here's my beef, as someone who I'm a researcher, by training in nature. Anyway, when I see somebody say, hey, you drink this tea, and here's your before and after pictures.
Yeah.
Tea?
Also, can I just say it's detoxing, so you are going to lose a lot of water. You
Well,
may see some difference.
Detoxing, you're not going to detox from that stuff. There's caffeine serves as a natural diuretic, so you may lose some water. The only way you're really going to lose a lot of weight on that is if you're actually cutting your calories.
Right. It's calorie deficit. It's very, very, very easy, y'all. It's not super scientific like people make it out to be.
So don't fall. Anything that looks too good to be true probably is, and if it is too good to be true, it's probably going to do some damage for your long-term health unless you're really being looked at by a doctor. And so past the tea, it brings me up to these. And I use this because I was trying to find my saran wrap, but I couldn't. But I see, remember back when the big thing was people were doing the body wraps to lose fat?
Still do the body wraps to lose
That's
fat.
the stupidest thing. I don't care.
Listen, someone asked me to be a demo for them, for the body wrap at an event. And I was like, yeah, I'll do it. She wrapped me up.
Saran wrap.
Put the gel on, whatever. And she took before picture and after picture. And my tummy looked better. It looked thinner. But as soon as I drank water, came right back. So
Right.
it's not an easy fix.
One of the things, and this is the same with people who put on the garbage bag type of deals. And I see a lot of people, even my friends, do that. Mm-hmm. What you have to understand is that you're losing water. You're sweating more. Water does not equal fat. And then you get very little of what is called an increased thermogenic response by wrapping your stomach, by putting on the bags. It's cool if you're like a wrestler and you're trying to lose weight before the meet, or you're in a competition and you need to cut instant weight, which is going to sweat out some water, because your body, as you know, is like almost all water. And so you can lose weight with water really fast, but it's not real burn. You want to get into the fat and start burning the fat.
Well, and you'll gain it right back as soon as you drink water.
This is water.
I will let y'all know my little example is right before I compete, I don't dehydrate, but I take down my water. I'm like 2 gallons like on a Sunday, and throughout that week before the Saturday competition, I'm down to maybe 8 ounces, 4 ounces of water on Friday. I weighed in at 113. I'm just gonna throw numbers out. 113 on Friday morning, and then as soon as I drank the next day, and this is without eating hardly anything, maybe just a few things, I went up to 119, like that, and it was literally just drinking water. So that just goes to show you that you dehydrate yourself, you're going to just lose the water. As soon as you bring it back in, you're going to gain it right back. So it's just one of those things.
I give you another example. Back when I used to box at, for those of you in Omaha, you know CW Boxing Club. Didn't have any air conditioning. You would go into the club, and I would go in there for an hour. You know, do my workout, do my training. Obviously, a lot of cardio. I would come in at like 176, and I would leave the gym at like 169, 168. I was losing 5 to 6 pounds of water weight in that session because it was so hot. No air. You lose that water, but when you rehydrate, you come back up.
Also, it's when you weigh yourself in the morning versus night, it's going to be a good...
Just different things. So, you know, don't be fooled. Like, you can't trick your body. Physiology is what physiology is, and unless you're using some different kind of hormones, which I'm not really against, especially as we age. We'll talk about that We'll talk about that on a different episode, because I think especially every black man should get their testosterone levels tested. But you just got to be smart with it. You don't be taken in by hood hustlers. Go to somebody that's knowledgeable about the fitness industry and diet, and listen to what they have to say. Don't try to think you're going to lose the weight that you put on for 20, 30 years. All right, we're back. See, always remember to plug in your laptop. By the way, I smell really bad right now.
That smells so bad.
Yeah, hey, it is.
He needs a shower before he gets into bed. He used to play college basketball and go play basketball. We've been married for 25 years this year. And so we've been married for a long time. College basketball. Go play basketball. Come home. Crawl into bed. I'd already be in bed. Stinky, sweaty, and disgusting. Oh, no. Gross.
Hey.
Take a shower.
Hey. I look good enough to stink.
No.
All right. So we talked about kind of the, just be smart. People are always going to try to sell you something because the fitness industry, everybody, is always a churn and burn industry. So there's always going to be people wake up one day and say, I want to lose weight. And I love that because as we get older, you got to be healthy. I mean, I want you to think about getting into the gym before the doctor tells you or something bad happens to you, like a heart attack, and then you go. But don't be sold on this stuff. I mean, nothing's substitute for hard work and a little bit of discipline. I'm not telling you to be like Lena and compete, but you get the point. So let's switch gears. This is another big one, and go ahead. You can start us off.
Okay. So when people come to me, first of all, when people come to me and say, I want to look like you, I'm going to say, well, first of all, we're all made differently. We all have different body structures, but I put sometimes 2 to 3 hours a day in the gym, 7 days a week, and I diet. So it's a little bit of a different extreme, but I'm also just super honest with them. I'm like, hey, I work really hard. Now, this was before I had plastic surgery. So there was this instructor that would tell her clients, and I know this because her clients came to me and would tell me this time and time again, at least a dozen. She would say, hey, if you want to look like me, you've got to take my classes. You've got to do this. And this lady has had breast augmentation, liposuction, butt augmentation, a nose job, lip filler, and a tummy tuck.
And mind you, I don't care about any of that.
Totally fine with that. Totally fine with that.
However,
if your clients are saying you want to look like that person, she needs to be honest and be like, hey, I got surgery to look like this. It wasn't happening. Now let's move on to
Now it doesn't preclude the fact that she could have been working still really hard and got that stuff. But man, you the point is these people need to be honest, and it happens all the time.
It does.
Here's another way that it happens is you'll have people that will be selling supplements, or like let's say Lena used to sell Visalis, which is kind of like what did you say, Avocare?
Probably, yeah.
Things like you hear
or it works. It was protein drink.
So and there's people that will be selling that stuff to you, but not even take it. But then they'll be telling you, I use this all the time. This is how I get to where I'm at.
Which is why I stopped selling it. And no, this is not to offend anybody, but I only used the protein drink. I didn't use any of the vitamins or any of the detox stuff. It just felt weird for me telling people, hey, buy this product, when I wasn't using all of the products. So I stopped selling that. Plus, I hated network marketing. But also, so another example is I was in this group on Facebook, and it was huge, 10,000 people in this group, and it was for competitors, and everybody could ask questions. And one gal, super, like, stay-at-home mom, asked a really easy question. She said, hey, how many of you competitors have natural breasts versus non-natural? She said, I'm natural, I'm very saggy, I feel super insecure, so all my natural ladies, can you let me know how you looked in your suit? Now, these admins blew up and were like, how dare you ask us some questions? This is a personal thing, and how dare you ask this question? It's so inappropriate. And she was like, I wasn't trying to offend anybody, but these women got so offended and just wouldn't admit that, hey, here's my boobs naturally, here's my boobs with breast augmentation. Go ahead.
Breasts, not boobs.
Breasts, sorry.
Or mammary glands.
But anyway, they were so offended by that. And so I recently had my breast done. And I'm not making any type of excuses. I just wanted them done. I did have 5 children.
They were bad. I'm not a breast guy. I'm not a breast guy. So I didn't care. But when all the women that see her in a locker room tell her that they're bad, they're probably bad. For me, it was whatever. I mean,
So anyway, we'll get to that. But I showed her a picture of me competing with natural breasts, and I said I was an A, and they were saggy, but you can put pads in your swimsuit and kind of give an illusion. And she was super grateful for it. However, these people just were, I mean, there was probably 30 women that were just so offended by this. Like, this is a personal business. The thing is
it's personal, but everybody can see it.
But you can see, you're getting it, you're not getting something that is internal that nobody can see. It's pretty obvious to people that I've had my breast done because I was an A. And like I said, it wasn't really a decision that was something that we dwelled upon, or I was like super insecure. I really wasn't insecure about it. I really wasn't looking towards getting that, but I had to have a stomach surgery done, and I had diastasis recti, which is where your stomach muscles, from so many pregnancies, stomach muscles are like this, and then they separate like this. Mine were completely torn, and there was a 2-inch gap from up here all the way down to my pelvis. And so I had been told over the years, get that repaired, it's dangerous, get it repaired. So I went in initially for that, and I went to a plastic surgeon to get it, the scar like this, instead of up and down, which is what a regular...
Then her skin was like this too.
I was going to get to that.
Oh, go ahead.
So I've had 5 children, and I'm little, and my skin was horrible. So I was like tucking my skin and things, and here's the thing is, I work out like crazy. I did it without getting surgery, and... What were you going to say?
No.
And I put in my time, and I lost my weight, and I gained my muscle, but those were areas that were just definitely I wasn't going to be able to improve on. And so, I tell people all the time, here, if you want to look like me, well, go to a surgeon and get your breasts and your stomach done.
From a physical standpoint, from a enhancement standpoint, like from a genetic standpoint, which kind of gets, I'm going to get to this in a second, but it goes back to my point. Like, if you had liposuction and all of these other things, then tell the people that you're training that that's what you did.
Right.
Along with the work you had to put in. Like, that's the thing. And it goes back to what we were talking about before with like things like the flat tummy tea and these other things. It's like, this is deception, people.
Yeah.
People are trying to deceive you into believing something that is not necessarily true in many cases, to sell a product or to sell a service, or in some cases just to make their ego look good.
Or, okay, so you guys, if you're on Instagram, you follow any influencers, the booties. That is a huge,
A lot of fake booties.
huge one. And they're like, to grow a booty, do this.
What?
To grow a booty, do this. Okay, a lot of them are implants or a fat injection.
Some of them are not.
Some are not.
Which was going to get me to my next point.
Okay, go for it.
Is that if you're genetically gifted in a certain area, which certain people are, then you need to be clear with the person who's not genetically gifted in that area.
For sure.
That their results are going to be dramatically different. They can still improve, but their results are going to be dramatically different. So if you have a naturally, round glutes, behind, and you have already decent muscle, like you see some people that just genetically are like that, and then you have somebody that's not genetically like that, almost the reverse, where they don't have a lot of glute muscle and are more flat, maybe more boxy in the hips. There's no way that hippie, boxy person is going to go genetically into that, what the genetic person was. But what happens is that this genetically gifted person will turn around and be like, take my program and look like me. No, you can't. Like, here's the best example. To me, that's like Michael Jordan saying, hey, if you do my workout and you're 5'2", you'll grow to be 6'6" like me. It's not going to happen. There's nothing that's going to make you go from 5'2", 5'6" to 6'6". There's no training. There's no, because it's genetic. But that doesn't mean you can't get better in those areas.
So, as far as plastic surgery goes, just be honest. I've been faulted for being an open book about what happens in my life, TMI, whatever you want to call it. I'll say, hey, no, I didn't just do a bunch of chest presses and grow boobs, breasts. It's stuff like that I feel is.
I did.
I feel like it's so deceiving, and it does our industry a disservice to have people lie or just even be deceptive. Not even lie, but just be deceptive about how they look the way or how they got to that point. So,
and you see a thread, running through this particular podcast, and I may end up retitling it something different. It's for the people that are selling products, just be honest. Don't deceive people. For the people that are buying products, be a little more thoughtful and do a little bit more research. For some of you that may be a little heavier, I get that and really need to lose weight or want to lose weight, and maybe you've tried in the past and it hasn't worked. I get it, man. I get you want something that fast. I understand that, but there's no magic bullet. There's just not. And when you get our age, there's even less of a magic bullet if there ever was one, because you have to work twice as hard to get to where you're getting.
It's a lot of patience. I mean, it doesn't. I actually had to turn a client away last week who said she wants to compete in March, just because I knew that she wasn't going to be ready. She has never lifted weights ever in her life, and she had quite a lot of work to do. And I wasn't trying to be discouraging, but I was just trying to be like, hey, let's give it a year, and let's work for a year, and let's be patient, and let's really get a good body and really get. And she wasn't willing to do that, so she found somebody else. We just didn't fit well together. Also, trainers, please tell your clients if they're not a good fit for you, or if you're not a good fit for them. Just be honest with them. Don't let them waste their money. But anyway, besides the point, I just feel like patience is huge, and I am struggling so much with that right now. I've been prepping for this competition. I've got 8 weeks left, and my weight is not coming down like it did the last time. And it's my coach keeps saying, be patient, keep to the course. And I know mentally, I know what's going to happen, because obviously I can't consume as many calories as I'm consuming and burning and not have results happen. But it's just very frustrating to me. And so I guess if we can just tell you, be patient, take your time. The slower the weight comes off, the healthier it is. It'll probably stay off longer. Also, I like to tell my clients to not restrict anything from their diet that they want. If you want to eat something, just use moderation. If you want that Snickers bar, take a bite and then put it in the fridge. I mean, it's not going to hurt you to do that, but it's also going to teach you self-control. And if you can't do that and you can't have it in the house, then don't have it in the house. So this one likes to overindulge. He can't stop once he starts eating candy. Oh, it's bad.
I can stop.
Oh, ask our kids. He will eat a whole.
They don't know anything.
He'll eat a whole entire bag of.
I eat what I want.
Peanut and party-sized peanut and.
It's because I like to party.
So if you don't have self-control, don't surround yourself with them.
So, rule of thumb: do your homework before you buy flat tummy tea, or you wrap your body in Saran wrap, or any other fat loss or get in shape quick theme. It could be a program, it could be a supplement, it could be any of these things. There's no magic bullet. And for you trainers and you fitness gurus, I don't even know why I'm talking to you, because a lot of y'all, you're not going to be convicted by this anyway, because you got your hustle on. But just know you're doing more harm than good to the people that you're trying to serve when you're not being truthful about the things that you've had done physically to make you look a certain way, and then you're trying to convince people that they can look that way too without telling them. Maybe you're more genetically gifted than them and you're not explaining that to them, and that's why the results will lag. Or maybe you're selling a product that you don't even really take, believe in, or trust because you're getting a paycheck from it, but you're still telling people you use it. That's foul.
And it's your reputation.
So that's all we got for you today. Make sure you follow us on YouTube, the website, genxandfit.com, and then follow us on SoundCloud with the podcast as we do it. We have a new video up with Lena that was working glutes. We were working glutes the other day. It's a short video. Make sure you check it out on the YouTube channel. But I do want to encourage you to, if you have never lifted before, make sure you have somebody take you through those exercises, because you don't want to get yourself hurt. And you want to learn, you want to do it right before you just throw yourself into some of that stuff.
Especially at our age.
Especially at our age. We don't recover right. All right. Any final words?
We are going to
Nope.
be doing... Are you serious?
Go ahead.
That was so rude.
Finish.
We're going to be doing my last 6 weeks of prep.
We're in, I think, 4.
4.
We'll just
So
do
we
4.
kind of do the little snippets at the gym after I'm done working out, just to kind of see how the prep journey. So if you're interested in that, we'll put that up on the site too.
Oh yeah, make sure you follow us on Instagram too. So we're doing a little better on Instagram with the Genx and Fit account. We'll try to put more stuff up on there that is unique. So catch us there too. So there's a lot of places you can listen to or see what we're trying to do to help people over 40, be a better...
Also, you don't have to be over 40 to follow some of the stuff that we're
No,
telling you.
you don't. I mean, it's a lot of it's applicable to anybody, but we always do it from our perspective, which is over the hill. All right, we out.